Hello, Geoffrey Ligier. I'm this content author. Sorry, in English. I'm French, so I'll try to have let's say correct English. So, in this package we find many kinds of contents. First, I'll begin with the environment, pure environment itself. So, the landscape. The landscape is simply made of two layers: the ground layer and the grass layer. The grass layer is just here to help you paint some grass, like here. See, pop it up. Value 1 up. Simple. And the other one is procedural. I think it's the word in English. You can find the material here. I'll show you how it looks. As you can see, depending on the alignment and the height, you can change the color of the ground. You could replace it with seamless textures if you want. But in a cartoony game, you might just want plain color. As you can see, here is the flat ground at low level, and when it starts to rotate to go higher, see, if we are higher than 300, we will have this displayed instead of this. You have this for you see the border, for the slope, and then on top the grass. You could change it for anything. I mean, any colors. If you want the grass to be here and not there, just you can invert, change colors, do whatever you want. The next thing is this post process in two parts: activate or disable the material itself. That's why I cut it in two parts. First post process only for the material, and the other one for the rest of the parameters. So you can create blueprints that will interact with them, rewrite it without rewriting the material. Just a bit more convenient, because as you know, we have to rewrite all the post-processing parameters every time you change them. Thing I find very I don't like it. Post-process material. I wanted you to be able to change it from here, change the filtering, but unfortunately it looks like there's a problem with the Unreal Engine, because as you can see, I applied it. I created an instance, modified the value, and tried to update, but I'm following the rules, but don't care. Don't worry, it works absolutely fine, and I will show you how to edit it. It's a kind of toon shading. I'm just recovering the light and use it as a cursor to move inside a LUT texture. And I apply it on post-process, not base color, so you keep the metalness and transparency, things like that. I also cut. I don't apply it on custom depth. Sorry. If you select an object, ask for render custom depth. You see here, pass. If I select it, as you can see, it's excluded. You see here, clack. See the difference. Also excluded, of course, the sky dome. The objects. You have stairs. You have all sorts of kind of foundation slabs. You know. Can be used for some kind of dungeons generators. I had some fun trying my meshes in Dungeon Architect. Here here I tried to imitate some old 3D shooters, you know, like Wolfenstein 3D, but make it more modern. And here it's just toonish modern graphics, you see. Just added some small chunks, some forms or big Tetris-like. Every geometry is decimated with baked normal maps to make them very, very light. Some props for your to put outside. Small armor, statue, box that can open, doors can open too, they're animated. Some emitters for the fires, for the lights. The light blueprints are made of the static mesh, the emitter, and a point light you can activate or deactivate. But it's interesting to draw some nice shadows. If you want to draw a static shadow for your environment, it can be useful. Of course, you can just disable it. Here, the particles are not creating lighting because it would be too wide, it would make too much. It would be flashy and not very optimized. But the small ones can do it. You'll see in a moment. I'll show you with a level. There are two levels, demonstration level, one daylight and the other one at night. You also have some shields inserts to put on the walls or in your character's hands. They are not static meshes. They are rigged, and the swords can also break. They're made of two parts. You can easily destroy the constraint and break the blade. I will show you this immediately. So let's go for the second map. Let's show you an example with kind of character. You see, tuk 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 tuk. The maps are very wide open, so if you have trouble with some textures, some objects, you can modify the material and put specular to 0 if you have some leaks, especially if you want to use the light mass. Up, I open the door. Look. You see the light trembling? This emitter is emitting light directly, but there is also the point light to draw around on it. There are also potions. I forgot to tell about it. There are some candles, see, and potions that you can refill. There's a function inside that allows you to refill them. You can make them fall on the ground and spit their liquid on the ground. So if you take a look at the documentation, you will see an animation showing it. Stink. Now we will go into the maybe at the night. See, okay. So this was the day. Now night example is cuter. So here I give an example of the the material of the grass is made to glow a bit. It's because of the emissiveness. You can modify it as much as you want. And you see the light. It's lighting the mesh. And it's not this heavy from a GPU point of view. I'll go here. Oops, is over to you see the bottles on the dunk. It fell. Here's a third that fell on the ground and is broken. You see? It's broken magic third. Another broken third. Clunk. Oh. Fell behind my back. Up. Some magic potions. Like it traces to find where to put the puddle. Basic idea is that when it falls, the cork is falling. If it's horizontal, and then it's the liquid. It spills its liquid everywhere. You can see there is still a bit of liquid inside. If you move the glasses or the bottles, the liquid will move inside. When you're working on the liquids, I provided you with all sorts of examples, including for the glass material. As you can see, when you instantiate the material, you can choose the fill rate. You see? And don't worry, it's always oriented depending on the orientation. So if you move, you see, the liquid follows. Don't worry. You can resize them as much as you want. It won't break anything. There's no real texture, and the liquid is emissive. So you make it shine like here, or not. You can choose. The example you see here, red is at 10. You could even make this. This liquid looks very dangerous. You see, you can make this kind of potions if you want. The thirds can be adapted to. So bottles, you can change the material and fill it at the beginning. The thirds you can easily create instances of the original material. There are some examples here. Blades, let's see, basic third. Examples, you see, and you choose the emission of the blade. Here can be put at clack. Now it's if you have some bloom effect, it will shine here. You see, it's glowing. I could adapt it, or make a blueprint that will change the value. Why not? You see? This is an animated not from a regular animation. It's just two parts moved by a blueprint, and the doors are real animations. You will find it inside the documentation. I'm not very fond of light mass, so I won't recommend using it all the time, especially since you often have to increase the definition to make crazy levels to achieve something fine. So I tend to not use it. You see, the shield's materials can be tweaked too. Examples. You see here, you can modify the colors. They're not emissive, but you could make them. Could force them to become emissive just plugging on the other one. If you want them to shine, to be shiny, but I don't want it to make it. I want it to make it metallic where there is metal, but not shine. There are two sorts of lights. There are some ones with that will really light, and some others I use in light day map that are not really emitting light, not like this, because here you have an emitter that emits a bit of light, and you also have this one that you can activate or disactivate. You see here it's just this, and now it draws this nice permanent light. You can choose what you want, how you want it. The tower is using instanced materials. They're all based on the same base. I wanted to give an example because it can really be useful for building. See here, I have one base, and if I change, as an example, the tint for something green, you see everyone becomes green. If I apply it, then choose to not change the color of just one part, it's not a problem. I can just select it and create another instance, or just modify its own instance. It will allow me to change all all these slabs, and say, oh no, I want another tint. Look, and you see all of these have changed. So it's easy to change the colors or even the textures really quickly. You can create your own texture and replace it. Also in the map there's something I like to do. You see, it's a parameter. It's very useful to tell anything in your game. It's day, it's night, it's whatever you want. If it's 0, it's night. If it's 1, it's day. And then the materials can use it. As you can see, it's calling it to know if it needs to multiply color differently. It's very interesting to make this. You see, this kind of radioactive grass at night. So kind of thing I like to make. So just observe, just look inside everything. There are many kind of nice little blueprints that could, I hope, you be useful for your own project. I think I've said everything. So if you need any help, if you have problems, well, tell me. And have a great dev time. And if you make a game with these sets, please let me know. I would love to play it. I will make some other asset packs very soon. See you.